again, the epics, we use something called as epics and themes. So this is how we organize this. So the shopping cart itself is an epic, and the theme could be, for example, the customer. And then one other theme could be the administrator. From the point of view of our own administrator, order processing could be a theme. So epics are again like a collection. It's collection of different stories, or something like a mothership of stories belonging to one type could be called an epic. And then the theme is how you structure that in the context of the way it could be an administrator, it could be a customer, it could be order processing, all of this could be themes. So again, we'll discuss these in greater detail in the coming weeks. And you still design, you still develop with Agile, right? So you're not going to have something coming out of thin air. So how are you going to do that? Again, Agile stresses on refactoring. You need to refactor the code. You cannot have the perfect code written the first time. So what we do is we just deliver something quickly. We just move it out of the door and take it to the market, the shopping cart. And then we realize that, you know what, it's not really optimized. It's not really the best way to write the code. So you refactor the code. That's called refactor. You work on that again. You perhaps introduce new functions, or you just make the interfaces much more modular. And that's what is called refactoring. So you take the code, which is already written, and then you kind of improve it. You try and improve it better. It could be the code itself, it could be the blocks of interfaces, it could be the modules, the architecture, everything can be refactored. And that's why it's a very, very important thing, because if you do not refactor, then you'll have like a beast of stuff. Because if you want, in the aspect of delivering something quickly, you would end up with a lot of those loose ends everywhere, a lot of those small little animals growing on their own, as I say, which is not good. So you need to actually have that architecture spikes. So that's what we call as a spike or a metaphor. So the spike is actually, you take that and then you work on that without actually delivering the business value to the customer. So we call it as a spike. Again, an agile term. We'll discuss these in greater detail later. And then it's all about rapid application development. It's not about taking ages like in the waterfall. Agile is all about rapidly developing, designing, and delivering something quickly and taking it to the market. And then obviously working on that later to improve, to get the feedback immediately, and then being able to improve on it, and incrementally develop it further and further. And other important thing is the test-driven development, very important, because because you deliver something quicker doesn't mean it should really, it should have bugs, it should have defects. It should still be working well, right? So even if you deliver something in 3 weeks, a shopping cart should be delivered, let's say by November, in a month and a half, doesn't mean you deliver something which the user find, even if they click on the button, it's not doing anything, which is buggy, which is a fault. So whatever we develop, even if we are just developing one module or one particular task, you need to make sure it is tested thoroughly, and then you deliver it. Only that thing you're working, you're not worried about the other elements, other aspects of it. So test-driven development, again, very important agile approach. Paired programming, again, is a new way of empowering the developers. So it's an agile method. Again, we're going to discuss in detail each of them in the coming weeks. I'm going to talk about the specifics of each of these methods, the TDD, XP, Scrum. We'll spend more time, just one particular week, we're going to spend about 2 sessions on Scrum, because it's huge. We'll talk about the advantages, the tools and techniques, the disadvantages, how it's structured, the skills and resources, the roles and responsibilities within each of the method. We're going to actually spend a lot of time in the coming weeks on each of these, the different methods and agile methodologies, MDE, model-driven engineering, again, another method, DDD. So they're all different. BDD, behavior-driven development, which is, again, just an example for that is the Gherkin statements that we write, given, when, and then. So this is how you write the acceptance criteria, the test cases in Agile. So if you attend for an interview even today, that's important that you know, as a developer, as a BA, as an architect, you need to understand and work with the BDD structures. They'll ask you. So that BDD is the given, when, then. So we'll talk about these again